Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video on competitive multiplayer with Daggerwin. Right, so it's not a very good day today unfortunately. It's September now and it is raining and there's no sign of any good weather on the horizon. The one positive from that is that we actually haven't got any harvesting to do today. All of our fields are currently harvested apart from field 17, which is our soybean field, and that is still growing, but that is not ready yet. So it doesn't actually matter too much that it's raining. It's just not very nice for video purposes to watch. It just makes it a bit gloomy and dark, but it's not the end of the world. It's fine. We can continue working and it's not actually going to affect anything really at all about what we're going to do today, just a bit dull. Anyway, yes, so that is the last field we've got at the moment to harvest, which will be ready in October, so that'll be next episode, the soybean field. But we do have quite a lot of field work to do today with the fields that we've already harvested, so we've got two which need drilling. We're going to drill those with either barley or wheat, or both. We might do one of each. And then we've got a lot of weeding to do on the two canola fields that we've already planted. And they might also need something else. Do they need anything, or is it done? They did need rolling, but it's too late for that now. So it's field 8 and 16. 8's our newest field that we purchased last episode. But yeah, they did need rolling, but we can't roll them now because they've already germinated, but we can weed them. So we need to probably buy weeders today or lease one. Still not decided whether we should go for leasing or buying outright at the moment for things like that. We could just about afford the hoe. So it's 36,000 for the hoe and we've got 37, so we could afford that. Right, we're going to do, what in this one, what we're going to do? Well, we'll do barley in this one, we'll do wheat in the other one. I want one of both really, because then the barley will be ready earlier, so we'll be able to harvest that one first, and then we'll do the wheat as well. So we'll do one barley field for a start. I'm going to get the helper to do this, or at least for a start. Oh, this field's going to need liming as well, isn't it, of course? Yeah, there's quite a bit to do. But we can still lime it after it's been drilled. Technically you're not supposed to do that, but it will work in the game, so we're going to do that. Because we're busy with other things at the moment. We need to get some pallets moved. So here we are with the Fiat tractor, which is on the lime spread at the moment. We're going to have to drop that and go and move some pallets at the mill, because once again that's full. The storage area needs moving, so all the pallets need moving out of the storage area, so we're going to have to go and do that for a start today, so that we've got more space for more to spawn. Ah yes, I'm talking about the flour and the flour pallets. Last episode I asked, or was discussing, maybe we should build a bakery to process the flour and turn it into a more valuable product, and it would also reduce having to keep handling all these pallets as well. I still think that's a good idea, but a lot of you are saying that this small bakery, £36,000 bakery, is not worth bothering with because it's just too slow. And I do think that is true. I think it is, from past experience, quite slow, or at least the sawmill, basing it on the sawmill speed. Yes, that was pretty slow. So we're probably going to wait and save up for the £150,000 bakery at some point, but that might be a few episodes away yet. Certainly won't be this side of Christmas, that's for sure. But maybe what we could do, the plan is probably to use the money that we get from selling all of these pallets of flour and the canola oil as well. With that money we can put that towards building or buying probably building actually a bakery, which would be £150,000. A lot of you are still saying land is important as well. Yes, we're still saving up for more fields. I would like to get some more fields very much. It's just a case of when the money's available really, because, well, like I was saying, the weeder, the hoe, is 36,000. So if we bought that today, we would be reducing our money back to pretty much zero again, or 1,000. So not a lot. We could lease it. It might be worth leasing it actually, but yeah, I think we will actually. I think we'll lease it because it would use up all of our money, which I don't really want to do. I would like to put money towards land really, ideally. So yeah, that's the plan. Anyway, yes, we're going to continue moving these pallets for now, and then the other thing when we've done that is the greenhouses need more water, so we'll get that done as well. And then I'll come back to you when we've done all those jobs, and then we'll have to work on the fields again. So still a very busy day today. It is very busy, so yeah, I'll keep going on time lapse for a bit, and then I'll come back to you in a bit. Right, that's all the watering done. It took a while because it was quite empty. Both the greenhouses were quite empty there. So yeah, we've got all that done now and moved on to lime spreading. So into the barley field that we're just planting now. The helper's just finishing off. It's on the last round of the headlands, and then it can move on to the wheat field. Although that one will need lime as well. So yeah, ideally we should do that first. But like I say, it doesn't actually matter in the game. It doesn't make any difference really. Try not to get in its way too much. So yeah, basically this field's going to need. Well, it's been planted, it's been drilled, but it also needs lime, fertilizer, rolling, and then the 2 canola fields need weeding, as I said earlier. So we need to look at doing that as well. So lots and lots to do on our 4 fields. I think it is that we've already got harvested. That one over there is one of our canola fields. That's our new field. And then there's this one here which needs drilling, and the one that I'm in at the moment which has just been drilled, or is just in the process of being drilled. So yeah, all going well, just quite a lot to do. This is the thing with the competitive series, we are quite time limited because we're only doing 1 episode per month. Although in the winter we tend to have not enough to do, but at this time of year, basically between sort of summer and autumn, or the end of the year, there's so much to do that we don't really have time to do everything in the month. So, well, we do just about, but it's a bit tight. If we got more land, it would be more of a struggle, I suppose. Anyway, I will continue spreading this one with lime, and then we'll move on to the next one, which is the one over there. We'll get that one spread as well, and then they will need fertilizer and rolling, possibly. Rolling's the lowest priority though, actually, at the moment. The weeding is more of a priority on the ones we've already planted. But anyway, I'll get on with those now. That's both the fields spread with lime. Just unload the lime here and then we'll refill with fertiliser to do the fertiliser spreading. But before we do that, we're going to get the helper to go in the other field and make a start in that, and we also need to move the combine out of the way as well, because that is just slightly in the way of the helper doing the drilling, I've noticed. So we'll go and move that in a second as well. It usually starts with the middle of the field, so we should be alright to get this going before we do move the combine. And we're going to put wheat in this field, so we'll just change that crop type so that we do the right one. There we go, that's wheat. So yeah, we'll get the helper to go and do that. We'll have to fold up, I think, to get through the gateway. As many of you keep pointing out, the gateway is quite tight on this map, yes, we've noticed. It is a bit of a shame. I think the biggest problem is the fact that you can't adjust things. You can't delete the hedges and you can't delete the fences and walls and things. It would be quite handy to be able to do that, because then you could modify some of the gateways to make them a bit wider. I think that's the biggest letdown. It's not so much the fact that it has narrow gateways, because that is quite true to life. Anyone of you that's actually from the UK or Northern Ireland, you'll know that a lot of the gateways and fields are quite tight, and the roads as well. The country roads are very tight around the UK, so that is fine. I've not got a problem with that particularly, but it would be nice to modify them in the game, because a lot of maps do let you do that. That you demolish hedges and walls and things to make things wider. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame you can't do that, but apart from that, yeah, really good map. I really am enjoying it actually. It's better than I thought it was going to be. When I first started the map and the series, I thought, oh, it's a bit tight and yeah, it might not be that enjoyable, but so far it's actually not bothering me too much. Apart from, like I said, not being able to modify things at all, really, which is a bit of a shame, but apart from that, yeah, I have no problems with it really. It's a good map. Right, so this is the final field of the year to harvest, so we will put it in this field for now. Unfortunately, again, this is another problem. When you go into the field, it's going to damage the crop slightly, but there's not a lot I can do about that really. Oh, didn't take that turn too well. I'm going to clip that fence or wall, or what is it, gate, gate post. Right, so we'll get the combine in the field. We are going to lose a tiny bit of crop, but not too bad, hopefully. And we'll leave that there for now. That's just keeping it out of the way really. And then back to the Fiat, we've got some fertiliser on board, we'll get a bit more on. And then we'll go and spread those two fields, the wheat field and the barley field, with fertiliser. There we go, that is all the field work, or at least the drilling done today. Not all the field work, but yeah, we've got all the those two fields drilled with wheat and barley on those two, so that's all good. And then we can move on to the next job. So the next job will be to weed the canola fields that we drilled last episode. We'll need to get hold of a weeder, or the hoe probably. We'll have to lease it. Well, we don't have to lease it, but if we bought it, it's 36,000. We'd end up with £2,000 left, which is not great. So I think I would prefer to lease it at this stage. Like I said earlier though, when we get more land, we certainly should be buying it because it'll be used a lot more. But at the moment, with the fields we've got, it's probably not worth buying it at the moment, I wouldn't have thought. So we'll just lease it again today, and then we'll have lots of money left over to put towards new land, or a production or something. That is the plan. The other thing though I was going to do, because the Fiat seemed to have a free engine upgrade, I'll just see if this one does, because this can be upgraded to 200 horsepower. I think at the moment it's 180. It's an MH181, which I would guess is 180 horsepower. So yeah, if we go to the shop and pick up this hoe at the same time when we're there, I will also call in the workshop and we'll see if we can upgrade this from 180 to 200 horsepower, which would be nice, because you can never have too much power. So yeah, let's see if we can do that. So yeah, that's our soybean field on the right. That'll be ready next time, and actually that's a decent sized field. That's by far my biggest field, so there should be a decent amount of soybeans in there, which will be sold in June. Quite a long time to wait. That's the only downside to sell them. June is quite a long way away, but when we do sell them, that will bring in significant money, I would hope. So then that will really change things for the farm. I think we'll be able to definitely buy something decent with the money that brings in, either a bakery or more land. Probably need to get more land to build the bakery on, because at the moment, like I was saying last episode, if you saw the last episode, I was kind of struggling to find anywhere to place even the small bakery, let alone the full size one. So I think we probably will need to buy a production field, somewhere that we can permanently use as a field for productions rather than growing crops on. Anyway, here we are at the workshop, so let's quickly just try this and see if we can get a free engine upgrade. We'll repair it while we're here, might as well, and then customise, and then yeah, engine is 180, so it's going to charge us 10,000 for this, but this is exactly what it did with the Fiat, and it actually didn't charge us, so we've got 38,000 in the bank. Let's see if it actually just charges for this or not. Let's find out. Wow, okay, yeah, so it looks like free engine upgrades. I don't really understand why, but I'm not complaining. But I'm guessing because I get these, Daggerwin will get them as well. So it's not Daggerwin's not at a disadvantage about this. I think it seems to be yeah, now with 201. It seems to be either a bug with the game, or maybe it's supposed to do that for some reason, but I don't know. But yeah, we got a free engine upgrade again, so that's good. Right, time for the hoe. So where is that? Here we go. We could go for the cheap weeder, but I think this is the better value one, really. It would be nice to have a few more mods. I don't know whether there's many good mods at the moment for weeders, but this is the one we usually go with because it's quite a good one. So we'll lease that for 1,800. That's a bit more manageable than 36,000 at this stage. We'll get that on, and we'll go and weed our 2 canola fields. Yeah, so that's both the fields weeded, although the tram lines, the weeds in the tram lines were too established, so they wouldn't be removed by the hoe, but most of it was. Field 8's fine. I would like to get rid of these tram lines ideally. I was not quite sure how to do it. Somebody said do it from the menu here, but I don't think that will work because it mentions tram lines, but it says tram line width none. It's already set as a none, so and then that changes the width. So I don't think it's from there. Somebody else said, or a few people said it, you get rid of them by ploughing or deep cultivating. That's the only way to get rid of them. I don't know what happens if you just try and drill the field without tram lines selected. Probably won't work either. I think they're probably stuck there, so probably the only way to do it is to deep cultivate the field to get rid of them. I'm not sure. So it looks like we're stuck with them for now. But never mind, we'll have to just live with that. But the rest of the fields all look good. We do need to do some rolling ideally. We might buy the roller today, or if there's any contracts to do, let's have a quick look at contracts. We haven't done any contracts for a while. So there's some cultivating. We have got a wider cultivator now, so we could do some of these more easily. We can't do those. Ah, there is a hoeing contract. We've got the hoe. So we could do that. Oh, and a weeding contract as well. 46. You can't always do weeding contracts with the hoe though, that's the thing you've got to watch out for. But what I was thinking of doing was maybe getting the helpers to go and do one while I do the rolling. I think we'll accept that and just see whether we will be able to do it or not. If not, we'll just have to cancel it and get a different one. So field 46, where's that? Ah, up here, so how do we get there? I think from the road, so it's quite a long way to go. What I'll do is if I'll get the help to do that, if I look at rollers quickly, so we can afford most of these actually, well, most of the smaller ones. Well, this one, well, I say most, 2 of them, and that one. This is the best value for money, so I think we're going to buy that, because that way we've always got it. So if we have time ever, we can always roll the fields. It's not too expensive, so we're going to buy that. No point adding extra money, I don't think, to it, just for some mud guards. That's pointless. No, we don't need to spend any extra money on tyres. We'll just buy the standard roller. Let's buy that. So that's 12,500, not too bad at all. And then we can get our wheat and barley fields rolled today, while the helper goes and does some weeding. We just have to make sure this is actually going to work though before I leave it. If not, we'll have to take a different one. There is a hoeing contract as well, so if the weeding contract doesn't work, we'll go and do the hoeing contract. But it's quite a bit of a drive, so I'll get on there now with a time lapse, and I'll see you later. That works out well. So the helper just finished the contract at the same time I just finished doing the rolling in this field. What I'm going to do now is we're going to move the roller to the next field and get the helper to do the rolling, and I'll go on the Kubota again, and we'll maybe do another weeding contract if we have time, and we'll collect that money as well from that one. It's almost 10,000 I think we got for that, and it didn't take too long at all. So about 10 minutes I think, so yeah, not bad at all. Basically £1,000 a minute for doing that contract, roughly. So yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so here we are in the next field. This time we'll get the helper to do this, if it works. Hopefully it will. And I will go across to the Kubota, which for some reason is still moving, even though we finished the contract, so we'll finish that. And we'll collect that contract. Oh, I see, because it finished the contract before all the weeding was done. This is a thing with precision farming, I think, that's causing this little bug here, but seems to work fine, so we'll keep going. Right, so is that contract still there? Yes, the hoeing contract, so we'll accept that one as well. 5,000 for this, so not quite as good, but it's still not too bad. Where is that? Oh, quite a long way again from here. So oh, we can cut across though. Never been across here before, through between the forests and then up this way, so that's interesting. That's a different way to go. We'll head over there now and we'll get that one done. So I'll do this one myself while the helper does the rolling. And we've now got 35,200, so that, doing that one contract is more than made up for the cost of hiring this, which was 1,800. We've got 9,000 and something for doing the contract, and we've got another 5,000 to come in when we do this one as well, so definitely worth doing a few contracts when you hire equipment. Eventually I would like to own one of these hoes, or at least a weeder or something, some form of weeding equipment, but they are quite expensive to buy, 36,000 as I've said earlier, so yeah, it's quite a big investment, but it is worth it, I think. So yeah, when we've done this one, we'll have almost 40,000, well, we should have over 40,000 in the bank when we've done this next contract. That's pretty good, considering we've bought a set of rolls today. Have we bought anything else? I don't think we bought anything else, but we've hired this weeder, or the hoe, so quite a few investments, and we've still made a profit, which is good, and we haven't sold anything. So that's really good. We've sold all the flour and the canola oil to sell at some point fairly soon, and the bales. And then next year we'll have the soybeans as well when they've been harvested. So I think it's looking pretty good. I don't know who's winning. This is a few of you have been trying to guess who's winning at the moment. If, you know, quite about 50-50, I would say. Half of you are saying you think Daggerwin's doing better. The other half you think I'm doing better. I honestly don't know. There's not really any way of working it out. If you're really good with maths, you might be able to kind of get a rough idea, but I think it's really hard to say. I think we won't really know for sure until we finish the series and we sell everything. That's how we're going to work out the winner. We sell everything, and whoever ends up with the most money after selling all of their land and equipment is the winner, basically. If you watch one of our series, competitive series before, you'll know that, but anyone that's new to my channel or Daggerwin's channel, that's what we do. We sell everything at the end, of the very end, when we decide we've had enough of the map. And the person who made the most money in total, after we've sold everything, is the winner. You don't win anything, it's only a bit of fun. Some people probably take it a bit too seriously, I think, but yeah, basically that's the idea. So far I've got a track record of winning every series. Not necessarily every time though, I might not win this one. I think this is a bit closer, this one. Possibly. But I don't know for sure. Anyway, here we are at the field, so I'll quickly get this one done on another time lapse, and by the time I've done this, it'll probably be the end of the episode. All done, so just taking the rolls back to the yard now. That's been finished, and I've brought the weeder back, the hoe, because next time we'll probably be using it again to weed our 2 wheat and barley fields here that we drilled today. So I think it's worth keeping hold of that and using it again next time. It's already paid for itself by miles with those 2 contracts. So yeah, no harm in keeping it for 1 extra day to do that. Yeah, and we're going to have to collect that money as well, don't want to forget that. We need to collect the money from that contract we just did. Interestingly, you will have noticed there, the contract was operating normally for a change. The weeding contracts don't seem to work quite right, because they start at 91%, and then you still will do them, it doesn't quite work the same way. But that one works as it should do, so it started at 0%, and as you go along it progresses the contract like it should do properly, and we had to cover the whole field as well. So I don't know quite what that was about, that was a bit strange, but That was good, really. I suppose it's working correctly, so I don't know why the weeding contracts don't, because the hoeing ones do, which is basically the same type of contract, just hoeing rather than weeding, but it's the same thing, really. And, you know, as far as the contracts are concerned, there's not a lot of difference between them, so not quite sure why that would be. Okay, we'll leave the roller there, and then no doubt more pallets to move. Yes, there are, of course. So we'll just move a few of these just to keep it going overnight, and then that'll be it for today, I think. There's Daggerwin. What's he doing? He's rolling as well. I wonder if he's bought that, or whether he's leasing it. Has he bought a new tractor? I don't recognise that tractor. I think that's one of the Agco white tractors, or probably in Challenger branding by the looks of it, possibly. I wonder if he's actually bought that, whether it's on lease. I would imagine he's probably bought it, because I should think he was fed up with not having enough horsepower. I'm pleased I've got a 200 horsepower tractor now, which is nice. So now I've got a 180 horsepower tractor, which is this one, with a front loader. And then I've got a 200 horsepower tractor with narrow tyres, so I can run on the fields when crops germinate. Because that's a bonus, which I don't normally get to do. Which means I don't really have to worry too much if I forget to fertilise or something. I can do it pretty much any time of year because it's not going to damage the crop. Well, at least the tractor won't anyway. The fertiliser spreader will, but if I get a fully mounted one, it won't be an issue anyway. Because I'm kind of thinking potentially we might keep the one we've got as a lime spreader and then buy a separate spreader for fertiliser. This is a bit more of a luxury, that really. We don't need to do that yet. Oh dear, that's not good. Yeah, I'm getting running a bit out of space for these pallets at the moment. Yes, this isn't going too well. Why can't I pick that up? Oh, yeah. What I want to get is a forklift, because although this front loader tractor has its uses for things like bales, I find bales a lot easier. But in multiplayer, pallets are quite awkward to stack, particularly in multiplayer. In single player, it's not too bad, but with a proper forklift, it would be a bit easier, I find. So, yeah, I would like to buy a forklift just to move pallets around here, around the yard. Just would stay in the yard most of the time, but yeah, it would make life a lot easier because we are kind of running out of space. Also, yeah, it's a bit more manoeuvrable, so you wouldn't have to worry about the lack of space to manoeuvre in the yard, and for loading these onto a trailer as well. So I am thinking we probably will have to buy a forklift fairly soon, probably in the next month or two, so in the next few episodes, to start moving some of these pallets a bit more easily, because I am kind of running out of space and this isn't the best machine really for doing it. Anyway, I think we'll leave it there. I'm just going to finish quickly doing these off camera, and then I'll come back to you next time. Well, we'll finish now, and then next time we'll probably continue doing this again, because there'll be more spawning overnight. But yeah, I'll just quickly move these off camera, and then I'll see you again in the next episode, I think. Oh, almost forgot, we need to collect the contract, so we'll just collect that. And there we go, and now we have got in the bank 41,777. There we go. So, yeah, we'll leave it there. Daggerwin's just finishing off the rolling in that field 15. He's been quite busy in that field. It's a big field, that, so he's going to need some pretty big equipment to run that sort of size field. I am looking at probably getting another big field as well when I have the money available, but not quite yet. Anyway, we'll leave it there. So I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.